What is good? WTFW podcast here on the WWE podcast. If you need to follow us anywhere, swoop us up, check us out, peep us up. No, those words don't even make sense, but I don't care. But check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok at WTFW Trash. It's your boy. It's Kanye, Twitty, and I got my co-host. Hey, go ahead and say hi to people.
Yeah, you already know Nemean Lion in the building, ready to do it.
In the building, we back. Man, what a great start to the new season that we've had so far. You know, the interviews with Drexel, that was amazing. The interview with referee Brad Lee was amazing. Coming up here in a few weeks, we got interviews with Evie, the official ring announcer from Prestige Wrestling. But we also got some big news.
Fire.
It's fire. It's fire. Basically, to put it in a nutshell, we have now become the official podcast, ringside podcast of TPW Wrestling, Timber Pro Wrestling. We'll be making our debut on May 13th in Everett, Washington. I'm excited.
Shout out to Brad, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a great honor to be asked to be a part of it, and that's what we're here for. I mean, today we're gonna go ahead and just dive into the WWE Draft, but our main focus and one of the things that we're really trying to do is cover them independents from Prestige, DOA, Impact, all the local territories out here on the West Coast, and we'll spread out as far as we can. But that's all coming up.
Guys,
we got a quick fire trash list. We're gonna go from one all the way to the end on your WWE Draft. But first things first. Nemean, what do you think of the brand new World Heavyweight title that is now on Raw?
I think it's awesome. I think for the most part it's fire. I just I'm still kind of confused on why they can't separate the titles, it's been so long that they've had all of the titles unified, quote unquote, and it's we already have these titles, why not utilize them? It just doesn't make sense to me to have two titles on one person when you can just separate them the way they were before. The draft was a perfect opportunity to do that. So,
and we'll get to it, but there's a lot of title nonsense going on. There's a lot of title confusion going on, and we'll get to that with the picks. But let's start off with. First one's easy. Number one pick going from SmackDown and staying on SmackDown, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman. That's fire. I'm good, The
bloodline needs to stay at SmackDown for sure.
Yes. All right. And then on number two pick, staying on Raw, officially Mr. Cody Rhodes. I think that's fire because it's separated. It's separated.
It's them, and it, I don't know. We were talking about it before we started recording about how, Cody's the main man for the next title. I feel like he has been. They dropped the ball with Sami Zayn, so I think I don't know. I see big things in the future for Cody staying on Raw. So I think
Me too. Fire, absolute fire. And then but then we get to the confusion. Bianca Belair moves from SmackDown to Raw. And they even messed up this even more because Bianca Belair was on a tour and she did a video package. And in the video package, she kept referring to herself as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And I'm like, wait a minute, Rhea hasn't even been moved anywhere yet. you just went to SmackDown. Somebody flubbed and gave her the wrong script. And that really kind of blew it right there. That told us right then and there that Rhea Ripley later on was going to be going to Raw. And they're going to do, like, the only thing they can do is that corny thing where they take the two superstars, put them in the ring, and they trade.
Trade titles, yeah. I mean,
So,
they've done it before. That's definitely trash. I agree.
That puts Bianca Belair's move to Raw, in my opinion, trash. Trash. Next up, you got Becky Lynch staying on Raw. Fire. That's a good move.
Agreed.
Followed by the Street Profits. I'm so happy about this. The Street Profits did not get split up. I'm happy about that. And they both go from SmackDown to Raw.
I agree. Fire. There's no point in breaking up the Street Profits. I mean, unless you're gonna push Montez Ford into that solo category, keep them together. The crowd and the fans love the Street Profits. So, fire.
Absolute fire. Okay, well, let's go to the next one. Imperium, Gunther, Giovanni Vinci, and Ludwig Kaiser go from Raw to SmackDown, thus taking the Intercontinental Championship from Raw to SmackDown. Fire.
I'm with it. I've said before, I don't think it really matters where Gunther is. That man is a force to be reckoned with. So no matter where he's at, he's going to make big moves.
Right. You know, and you'll follow that up. The rated R superstar himself moves from SmackDown to Raw. I'm okay.
Yeah, Edge going to Raw. It's fine with me.
It's fine with me. I mean, it's fine with me. You got Matt Riddle staying on Raw. Gotta admit, kind of a lunchable for me. Just because I'm not invested right now. There's no Randy. He's you know doesn't have any arcade bro stuff going on. So I mean, I'm just really like.
I'm excited to see. I mean, I think he's on a good trajectory right now to make some waves. So I'm excited to see what Riddle can do. I mean, he's a beast. A lot of people, you know, don't give him the credit that he's due, but I mean, he can stand toe to toe with most anybody in that ring. So
I mean, that's agreed. I agree there. It's just all I'm saying is, give me a reason. Give me a reason. Right now, I don't have a reason. So, I mean, that's just me. You know, after that, you know, we got Bobby Lashley going from SmackDown to Raw.
Lunchable.
I'm with it. Drew McIntyre going from Raw to SmackDown.
Fire. Drew can go anywhere, and I'm down.
Fire. I mean, I guess I'm still in lunchable mode because I mean I don't know what they're doing with Drew.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I foresee Drew making some moves, so you can put him up against any of the greats. I mean, he's a good option to battle against Seth, Cody, Roman, Brock. You could put him in the ring with anybody, and he'll make a good match. So,
right.
I think it's a good move.
After that, the OC in their entirety go from SmackDown to Raw.
Lunchable for me.
Lunchable. You know what? I'm with it because I don't know. Again, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, but I do like the new, the harder, the heel element that they're adding to him. So I'm waiting to see what happens.
Again, give me something to invest in. You know.
Right. The Miz. The Miz is staying on Raw. Yeah. Lunchable. Damage Control did not get split up, and they moved from SmackDown to Raw.
That's fire. I think any way that you can put Bailey on the same roster as the man, so that they can battle it whenever, is good with me, man. There,
You know what? And that's where I'm at. You know, I want Bailey and Becky still.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
think that will be a rivalry that can it transcends time. You know, it will withstand all of anything, and they can battle it out constantly, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
Next up, you know, the returning Shinsuke Nakamura moves from Raw to SmackDown.
I don't know. I liked him on SmackDown. I think he fit in there, but Shinsuke's, you know, Shinsuke. He's also one that can make it anywhere. You know.
I see him as a possible speed bump from Roman. It's an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is what I'm really excited about. And it's something that I was really excited about in its entirety. The final two picks, they took Alba Fire, the reigning NXT Tag Team Women's Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They took them from NXT to SmackDown, and then they took Indy Hartwell. And Indy Hartwell, I don't know if you've seen it. It was a heartwarming moment. NXT this week ended with her in the ring. She's finally gotten that title, and as soon as she got the title, she's actually dealing with an injury, but she finally gets put to the main roster. And you know, a spoiler, you know, Paul Heyman spoiler, the entire group, The Way, is all on Monday Night Raw. You have Indy Hartwell, you have Dexter Lumis, you have Candice LeRae, you have Johnny Gargano, and you have Austin Theory. The original group that just made so much waves in NXT, now they're all on the same brand.
Fire. It's the new wave, man. It's what we've been it's what we've been expecting from NXT and WWE for the long time. These people, especially Indy, she should have been put on the main roster a long time ago. So good for her. Congrats to Indy Hartwell.
And she's taking the right as of right now, they have the titles.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
Indy has relinquished it. But right now, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they have the tag titles. And as it sits right now, they had a match with another couple that I will talk about later, but they retained. And so as it stands right now, the only tag team, you know, women's champions in NXT are now taking it to SmackDown as it sits right now. So I'm with it though.
I like the mix up. I love it.
It gives a reason for NXT superstars to guest spot on the main roster to fight for them, and then they can take them back home.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, you know, that was the end of the rounds of SmackDown, but the supplemental draft, you had, you know, I'm just going to give me your quick fire, trash, or lunchable on these. So we're just going to do it that way with the supplemental. All right. Viking Raiders go from Raw to SmackDown.
Trash.
Dexter Lumis, like I said, he is now on Raw. He has been on Raw, but he's staying on Raw, as well as Candice LeRae, both staying on Raw. So we have The Way. I mean, that's fire. The maximum male models of Marseille, Mansoor, and Maxine Dupree are staying on Raw. Lunchable. I don't care.
It's literal lunchable. Yeah.
It may be the worst Lunchable in the world. Like, I literally could care less. I have not watched one segment, one promo, or anything with these guys. None.
They've never once given me a reason to invest, and couldn't
And
care.
then following that, you have 3 people. The next 3 are all from NXT. One of them returning from NXT, but 3 superstars from NXT all go to Raw. Zoe Stark, JD McDonough, and Apollo Crews. Okay. All right. Give me some fresh blood.
Yeah, that's cool with me. I mean, we've seen what Apollo can do. They're mostly
Should
for
have
me.
been on the main roster last year, but she got injured for 8 months.
Yeah.
And then the next one I know is your personal favorite. I bet you could get real excited. Moving from Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown. Natalya!
Oh man, a lunchable break again. I mean, good for her for sticking around and putting all these people over. I mean, she's a legend in her own right, but
Chelsea
doesn't do.
Green. Yeah, well, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's Natalya. She can be anywhere, and she'll just be a lunchable everywhere she goes. Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville go from Raw to SmackDown. A legit women's tag team. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, but I'm just curious. The big thing that we've been talking about for months now is the character development and the creative storyline for the women's side of wrestling. And as long as they have plans for them, otherwise, what's the point in moving them?
Right. And then the final superstar in the supplemental draft, and I gotta be honest, I don't even know why they even mentioned it, because it don't matter. Ain't nobody cared. I've been to so many live events. I don't know one person that gives two anythings about this one. Lacey Evans is staying on SmackDown.
Yeah, they seriously dropped the ball with Lacey. I mean, she in her own right is, one of those that can stand up in the ring with a lot of these girls, and they've done nothing with her.
No.
It's like Xia Li. Like there's
hey, you right.
they set up these elaborate promos and such good storytelling to get them introduced to the fans, and then just drop the ball completely with these people. So, again, that's trash on creative's part. So
Pretty much trash. And then, but that was day one. Day two started off. We already knew this one. Rhea Ripley is staying on Raw. But she's the current SmackDown Women's Champion, so that just makes it trash. That just makes it trash to me.
She's moving to Raw, SmackDown. Yeah.
She was already on Raw.
No, she was a SmackDown. She's the SmackDown champion.
She went over there and won the title, but yeah, that was it. But she won the title because she got to choose who she fought.
Yeah.
Winning the Royal Rumble, but she was already on Raw.
Yeah.
Austin Theory moves from SmackDown to Raw. So there you go. You got the United States Championship on Raw, the Intercontinental on SmackDown. Fire. And like I said, that gives you the way in one brand.
Yeah, it only makes sense, So
let's see. And then next up, Seth Rollins, the visionary, the revolutionary. He stays on Raw, and I think that's good because he's one that needs to take a shot at that title, at that new title.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's going to be, that's why, it's good to have a superstar like Seth on any of your promotions, so he can do good anywhere he goes.
And it keeps him over there with Mr. Cody Rhodes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Charlotte Flair staying on SmackDown. Lunchable.
Lunchable. We knew she wasn't going anywhere.
Right. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, staying on Raw and keeping the tag titles there. That's fire to me because
Keeping it away from the bloodline as much as they can.
I like it because the very next pick was the Usos staying on SmackDown, which separates those two teams, and that's what I want.
Yeah. Kill that storyline. It's done.
Yeah.
That's been
Especially after being at WrestleMania, like you can't top that moment.
Yeah, and one thing that WWE has done a lot recently is focus on the bloodline on either promotion. And don't get me wrong, Usos are one of my favorite, if not my most favorite tag team of all time. So, I love the bloodline, but there's so many more directions they can go without having to milk that for all it's worth, So
right, and now the bloodline is on SmackDown. Period. The Judgment Day staying on Raw, which keeps the Judgment Day complete. And it's actually interesting that they drafted the Judgment Day as Finn, Damian, and Dominic, and they drafted Rhea Ripley separately.
Yeah.
LWO, Rey Mysterio, and the whole crew, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde, they are staying on SmackDown.
Separating them from Dominic. I love it.
I love it. I love it. Fire. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez moved from Raw to SmackDown as the current women's tag team champions.
It's unfortunate, but it's a lunchable. The whole, I mean, the women's division is just still in shambles right now, and I need a bigger reason to invest. So for right now, it's a lunchable. Don't get me wrong, I love them both, but
unfortunately, it goes right into the next pick. The same thing. Asuka, SmackDown to Raw. Another drop ball.
I agree.
New Day goes from Raw to SmackDown to join the next pick, the Brawling Brutes, on SmackDown.
Fire. I like it.
Trish Stratus staying on Raw, actually being drafted. Trash.
Fire.
Trash.
He said trash. I'm actually I thought at WrestleMania that Trish did really well. I was actually super surprised at her skill level and ability still, because I haven't seen her do anything for a decade probably. And she dropped the ball the following week. Titles and all that, but that was also, I felt like that was a scrambled match that she wasn't quite ready for. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not giving her all the credit, but I'm excited to see what she can do if she actually puts all of her effort into this. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give her some time. But next up you got Karrion Kross, Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler all going to SmackDown.
That's a lunchable.
Lunchable, both.
Yep.
It's almost borderline trash. LA Knight stays on SmackDown. Fire. I don't care where he's at. LA Knight.
What?
What? LA Knight. I mean, he's not like he's ripping anything off from Britt Baker, but I'll leave that alone. Braun Strowman, Ricochet, one of the newest, most exciting tag teams in the biz, moving from Raw to SmackDown, where they can feud with the Usos.
I don't know. It's all right. I feel like they're one of the better tag teams in the WWE right now. So I wouldn't have mind seeing them stick around on Raw to battle it out with Sami and KO. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Next one, I can already tell. I'm gonna guess. Next one's a complete lunchable break. Shotzi staying on SmackDown.
Yeah, who cares?
Bronson Reed staying on Raw.
Who cares?
Pretty Deadly moving from NXT to SmackDown. Ugh.
I'm actually excited to see what they can do on the main roster. They're good in the ring. They really are. I just cannot.
I can't either.
Their gimmick's it's such an act.
A cliche act. Like it almost pokes fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's pandering, and
Yes.
I'm, if it was legit and believable, I'd be behind it. But it's just now at this point, it's just kind of too gimmicky. So
Right. Alpha Academy, shush, please. Excuse me, shush. Chad Gable, Otis staying on Monday Night Raw, where conveniently maximum male models are. So the storyline with Otis maybe splitting finally, which actually is kind of funny. I'm a little with it, but they're staying on Raw.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fire.
Rick Boogs going from SmackDown to Raw.
Fire.
Fire. It's fire if they actually do something with him now.
Well, he was. Yeah, before he got injured, the man was on a skyrocket trajectory.
And
So
put him back with Shinsuke.
that's why it's fire to me. Because Shinsuke's on Raw now. I feel like they can totally put that tag team back together. Come on. I feel like that's a perfect opportunity to pick up right where we left off. Fire.
Fire. Another one, fire. The last two actually of the picks, fire as all can be for me. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter from
Fire.
NXT are going to Raw, where
Fire.
they just lost a match against the NXT Tag Team Champions, but now they're both all four on the same main roster, and I want to see that go some more.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the direction they're going. So I'm with it.
And then to the moon, Cameron Grimes finally made it from NXT to SmackDown. He's been gone a while. He's been going through body transformation. I'm all in.
I'm impartial. For me, it's a lunchable right now. He's never really gone over for me, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Then we're gonna get this supplemental drafts, and I'm just gonna give you the 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 6, they all went from Raw and stayed on Raw. Nikki Cross,
Trash.
Dana Brooke,
Trash.
Johnny Gargano,
Fire.
Los Lotharios,
Fire.
Akira Tozawa,
Lunchable.
Piper Nevin,
Fire.
Fire. And then the next four go from Raw to SmackDown. You got your girl, Xia Li,
Lunchable.
Tegan Knox,
Lunchable.
Emma.
I'm excited to see what she can do. So I'll say fire.
Riddick Moss.
Fire as well.
And then from NXT, let me bust out my best DJ Kuzmo voice here. From NXT, you have the man with his homies. You got Jinder Mahal, Sangha, and Veer Mahan returning to Monday Night Raw in this year.
Fire.
There's
anything
no
you're like,
absolute fire.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
mean,
if you know Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones is a big boy. From NXT, he got drafted to Monday Night Raw. There is a new
yeah,
big boy.
yeah, he's like Mark Henry-esque. That's what I
Yes,
see. Yeah. So
absolute fire.
yeah, absolute fire.
Tamina just went from SmackDown to Raw.
There's nobody Mina.
It, but does anybody even care?
It's a complete lunchable break. I mean,
Complete lunchable. And then I'm going to say this. The final pick in the supplemental draft and of the whole draft is my favorite pick. My favorite pick. This is my fire of the draft. Hands down. Grayson Waller goes from NXT to Friday Night SmackDown.
I'm with it. I want to see him and Gunther's feud picked back up. So
I don't just want to see that, but I want to see him with anybody. In my opinion, Grayson Waller is one of the top people in NXT over the last year, and oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited all the way.
me as well. Yeah. He's
You
a
know, and then
he loves to talk his trash, and he gets people's blood boiling. So
and he gets it done in the ring. He gets it done in the ring.
Sure does. Yeah. Fire.
And then there are some people that are free agents. I don't have the list in front of me, but the only one that actually matters, Omos and Brock Lesnar. They can go anywhere.
It makes. I mean, yeah. It makes sense. They don't know what to do with Omos. I mean, all he's had is squash matches, and I feel like he has definitely improved, but he's still got some work to do. So it's a good. I think that's fire for Omos. It's a good move. With Brock Lesnar, he was basically already a free agent. I mean,
it's a duh moment. Like he has to be able to use it anywhere.
Yeah, it's not really any news there. I mean, he is hands down the biggest superstar that they have on the roster at this moment. So aside from Roman, so it just makes sense to make him be available to put in wherever he needs to be.
Right.
Fire.
So well then I mean now that you got the whole draft, do you give this year's draft? What do you give it? Fire, lunchable, trash. I mean, what do you give the whole draft as a whole?
It's like a B, maybe like a B minus for me. I mean, it's the same thing they did in the last draft. Like they can't figure out what they want to do, so it feels to me like it's a bit of a scramble, just mixing things up to see what they can do. So I may be choking on my grade later on when I see the storylines and the investment that they give me, but until then I'm not gonna give WWE the benefit of the doubt because they haven't really shown me much as far as the draft goes. I mean, They basically made the draft null and void this last season, so we'll see.
Let's see if they acknowledge the brand split.
That's all I want. If you're gonna continue to do a brand split, at least don't treat me like I'm stupid. We say that all the time. We're fans and we know what goes on, so don't make it seem like I don't know what you're doing.
Right. Well, then, hey, like we said, we covered the draft. We covered, we're going to be the official podcast for Timber Pro Wrestling. And then, so next week, next week is going to be our premium live event review. So, before we get out of here, let's get our picks. Backlash in Puerto Rico. Who you got? Brock Lesnar or Cody Rhodes?
Oh man, I'm gonna just off the cuff go with Cody.
I'm agreed. I'm agreed there. Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa. However, there seems to be dissension between Solo and the Usos, so I'll go first with this one. It's a gimme. Matt Riddle, KO, and Sami Zayn, it's a wash. They take this, and the Bloodline cuts out the Usos.
I don't know. Yeah, I've been saying for a while that the Usos are going to break up, and they haven't forever. So I can't get on board with that necessarily. But I do agree that Riddle and Sammy and KO will win that match. So I'm going.
Well, who you got in this one in a San Juan street fight? Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, both from the same village in Puerto Rico. And now they're doing a match together, a San Juan street fight. Anything goes.
I think the match itself is fire. It's hard to say who's going to win that match. I think Damian needs the win. I think, but who knows how it will go? Especially, Bad Bunny is a mad superstar in the Latin American community. So I feel like it could go either way. If I have to choose one off the cuff, I would say Priest will win that match.
I'm with you. I'm saying it's gonna be match of the night, but Damian takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley, Zelina Vega.
Oh man. Rhea's winning for sure.
Almost a lunchable.
Give me a reason to invest in Zelina again. She's good. So that's that whole disorganized chaos in the women's division.
Well, she's only there in that match because of her ethnicity.
Yeah. So
well, that's my lunchable. And I have another lunchable too. It's the last match. Seth frickin' Rollins and Omos.
I don't know. I think that Seth might be putting Omos over on this one. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go with Omos for the win on this one.
Ooh, okay, all right. We disagree I'm going with Seth. There's no way I'm betting against Seth in this one.
I don't want
get another loss like this and then try to make him feasible to go after the title.
Very. But what about putting Omos towards the title?
I don't want it.
I know you don't want it, but
don't want it.
Put your fanboy aside, Kanye, and
Still don't want it. Still don't want it. I haven't even figured out how to say Omos's name correctly yet. I don't care.
I know. It's needed. Omos needs it though. Seth doesn't need it. Like he'll come out the other side either. Like Seth losing isn't gonna hurt him one way or the other. Omos losing is just gonna make him look even worse than he already does.
Right. And it's not actually the last match. I don't even know why I said that. You still have the Women's Raw Championship. Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. And I've seen these two battle in NXT. This could be a show stealer. And I'm going with Io.
I don't think so. I'm gonna go with Bianca. I think Bianca and Rhea are gonna be the two to trade titles. I don't think that they're gonna change the titles before that happens. So
we'll see. Okay, all right. What about this one? Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory for the U.S. Championship.
Austin Theory's maintaining. I think
there's just no way.
I don't know. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are they have successfully built Austin Theory into a powerhouse, and I think this match here will just build that resume.
Yeah. There's no reason to drop it. I mean, come on, Bronson Reed, like he
ain't put the work in yet. He's good. He's big, but I'm not invested.
It's believable, which is a big thing for me. The believability, it's believable, but exactly, it's the investment, the development, and like you said, they've built Austin Theory so much, and I don't think there's any major title changes coming up at Backlash. They're not going to drop to people who are there may be one or two shock drops, but I don't even see that happening. I think they have to establish this draft that they just did. Otherwise, it's going to again look as though they're not even acknowledging it. So
right. I do though think the one title I think will change. I think it's Io Sky. I think that's the one that's feasible because it gives her a reason to slowly start her separation from Damage Control, so Damage Control can be Bayley and Dakota Kai as a tag team.
Yeah.
So, but hey, we'll see. Good news to everybody here is I just found out before the show is Nemean Lion is actually going to be in the building this Saturday. And we're going to be sitting here watching it together.
You already know.
It's Backlash, and that's amazing, because, hey, it's always so much more fun to sit here in the same room and watch the pay-per-views. I got to say that.
Yeah, you get those instant reactions between each other, which makes it all that more organic and real. So
right, and I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we will release a video of the podcast on video as well, because I mean we get the chance to go ahead and basically film our reactions live as it happens. So there's no thinking about it, no script, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
It will be a lot of fun, and I think being that we're in somewhat of a partnership with TPW and the direction that we're trying to head towards we're gonna be having a lot of live candid moments. So I think that's a big deal coming up. So you guys look out for our videos and live reactions of things going on in the underground, and any sort of reactions that we may have to pay-per-views and all that. It's going to be coming up pretty quick. So
Yep. It's basically what we would call fire.
It's fire for sure. Yeah,
it's fire. But hey, that's it. That's the rundown. The draft is over. Now it's time to see what they do with it. Who gets a chance at the title. The women's division has been completely bolstered with so much fresh new talent. There's a lot of things that could go down, but hey, this is officially the Triple H era. So now I'm gonna be a lot more critical. You have the reins, you have the wheel.
It's the Triple H and Shawn Michaels era. Don't forget about Shawn Michaels, because he's the one who's been putting these guys up through NXT. So
right. So hey, that's what we got this week. We will be back. Go ahead.
No, it's an exciting time. That's all.
We're going to be back next week with the Backlash review, and then we'll follow that up with we're going to get Evie. Just went down to Prestige Wrestling. I got to see the man, Cierro Miero. And I also got to see Nick effing Wayne. One of the best prestige events I've ever seen. It was absolutely off the hook. But, that's where we're going. We're going to talk more about prestige. We're going to talk about TPW and anybody else that we get with. But getting Evie, the official ring announcer, and the Idaho Potato Champion, he wrestles too. He's the Idaho Potato Champion right now. He's going to be coming up. He stopped me in the middle of the show at Prestige and was like, hey, he saw the Drexel interview. He saw the Brad Lee interview. He's like, your guys' podcast is fire. I need to get on that. And so we will be getting him on after Backlash is all said and done. And I can't wait for that conversation, to be honest with you.
Lots of good things to come, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, so, like it is, at WTFW Trash on the TikTok, the Twitter, and the Instagram. We also have a hashtag WTFW podcast on the YouTube, so you can catch the videos and all that. But that's what we got for now. And so I'm good. How you got any final thoughts?
No, man. Like I usually say, man. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to WWE Podcasts, Bradley, TPW, all the fans, everything, man. You guys are the reasons we do this. So.
Yeah. Just be nice to each other. Be nice to each other.
Nice and, stay humble.
Stay humble. And that, my friend, is fire. Deuces.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.